A girl is worthless, my mother-in-law screamed, threatening my unborn child. Years later, as she begged on the streets, my daughter smiled. CEO. I'm Amanda and I'm 28. I work as an editor for a well-known fashion publication. My spouse, Zion, who's 35, is set to become the head of his father's big company. It was 5 years ago when Zion and I first crossed paths. That meeting happened on a street corner right here in New York City. Back then, I was just starting out as an editor, and it was a struggle to get established. I was running late for work one afternoon, rushing to get there. I bumped into Zion and my papers went everywhere. As I was scrambling to collect my scattered things, Zion gave me a friendly smile and helped me gather everything. We made eye contact at that moment, and I felt an immediate strong bond. Zion asked me to dinner after that, and gradually our relationship deepened. I found myself more and more attracted to his good nature and his overall gentlemanly nature. A year ago, we got married, and we've been incredibly happy ever since. One day, I was sitting at home on the couch with Zion. My hands were shaking a little as I grabbed an envelope from my doctor. "Let's look together," I whispered. Zion agreed, squeezing my hand tightly. We took a big breath, then opened it to find an ultrasound picture and the results. "It's a girl," I exclaimed, with tears of joy. Zion smiled broadly and hugged me. "Thank you, Amanda, our sweet little girl. I can't wait to see you," he said. "Daddy already loves you so much." We held each other, drinking in our happiness as the room was filled with pure joy. "We need to tell our families. They'll be so happy," I said, smiling. But Zion's face became a little less cheerful. "Do you think my mom will be okay with this? Zion's mother, Hazel, has traditional beliefs and thinks men are better. Everything will be all right. I'm certain she'll adore our little girl," I responded cheerfully. Over the weekend, Zion and I went to Hazel's home. While we were having tea in the living room, I announced our exciting news. "Mother, we're expecting a baby. And it's a girl." Hazel's expression immediately became unhappy. "A girl. The one to take over the family business must be a boy." "Mom, things have changed," Zion cut in. "Silence," Hazel shouted. "A girl who can't be the successor is worthless." Then she tried to kick me in the stomach right there in front of me. Surprised, I instinctively put my hands over my pregnant belly to protect it. "Mother," Zion yelled, standing in front of me to shield me. Hazel glared at us, trembling with anger. "The company needs a male successor. I won't accept a girl." Tears filled my eyes as I held onto Zion's arm. He looked at his mother with a serious expression. "Enough, Mother. We're leaving," he stated firmly. We departed from Hazel's house without saying a word. The second we got into the car, I started crying uncontrollably. Zion embraced me gently. "It's all right. We'll keep our daughter safe. Don't let my mother's comments get to you." After our visit, Zion and I had a long talk. "Mom just needs some time to adjust. I know that once she sees our baby's face, she'll soften," he reassured me. I chose to have faith in what he said. As the pregnancy went on, Zion and I slowly adjusted to our new circumstances. I kept pushing forward with my work, always putting the baby's well-being first, taking on only what felt manageable. Zion really began helping out around the house, making breakfast so I could unwind a bit, straightening up before he left for work, and basically offering all the support he could. He'd even leave work early occasionally. "Take it easy, Amanda. Your health is the priority," he'd say, always so loving and caring toward me. I was incredibly thankful for how devoted he was. About 5 months into the pregnancy, my stomach began to visibly expand. "Today's the day we get to listen to the baby's heartbeat," Zion said with excitement in his voice. In the hospital, when we heard our little one's strong heartbeat for the first time, we were both just speechless, completely overwhelmed. "Beloved daughter, Mommy and Daddy are here," Zion told my belly. Without thinking, I squeezed his hand, my heart filled with happiness. Sometimes Zion's support felt a little excessive. One weekend, worried about my growing belly, he dedicated the whole day to both shopping and cleaning. However, feeling my body get tired from just sitting, I said I appreciated Zion. "But how about we go for a little walk together? Gentle exercise is important." He agreed, though he seemed a bit unsure. We took a walk in a local park and just enjoyed the quiet time. We grew closer as a couple while getting ready for the baby's arrival. Sadly, Hazel's behavior didn't get any better at all. She bothered us constantly, with non-stop calls to Zion's office and late-night visits to our house. I remember the day Hazel showed up at work, causing a commotion in front of everyone. In a loud voice, she started complaining, saying I was a complete failure because I couldn't produce an heir. Mortified and enraged, my face flushed as I led her out of the office. "Please, Mom, stop," I begged, tears welling up in my eyes. "I'm overjoyed to be having a daughter." But Hazel just stared at me, her expression icy. "We don't need a girl," she said firmly. "If you can't provide an heir, then you don't belong in this family." Another time, Hazel just walked right into a meeting at my office. "Amanda, you're still working here," she shouted. Despite feeling shaken up, I tried to answer in a composed manner. Mother, I'm planning to balance my career with raising my child. I haven't started my maternity leave, but I will when the time comes so you don't have to worry about a thing. However, Hazel wouldn't even listen to what I was saying. You lost all value the moment you got pregnant with a girl, she claimed. Quit your job immediately, she demanded, beginning to sound emotional. I struggled to stay calm, but the tears were just streaming down my face. At that moment, my boss stepped in. Ma'am, this is a place of work. You need to leave right away, he stated as he escorted Hazel from the room. Of course, I told Zion what had happened. He was upset by his mother's actions, yet fiercely protective of me. He immediately called Hazel. That's enough, Mom, he said. Amanda is my beloved wife, and she's taking care of our child during this important time. Is it really so difficult to love your granddaughter just because she's a girl? But Hazel ignored her son's words. Actually, her strange behavior only became worse as time went on. One afternoon, I came home from work and the house was a mess. Dishes were broken and the furniture was all scratched up. On the living room table was a note that read, "Give us a boy." Hazel had somehow gotten a hold of my friend's information and was also bothering them. She was sending them messages like, "Amanda acts superior, but she can't even have a son, and you should stop being friends with Amanda." She was particularly persistent in calling my best friend, Jessica. "You're friends with Amanda, correct? Can't you persuade her to quit her job? There's no future for a woman who has a girl. She absolutely must have a boy." Jessica told me what was happening right away and shared Hazel's awful comments. She comforted me, telling me I hadn't done anything wrong. "We are all on your side." When Zion found out what Hazel was doing, he tried to reason with her again. "How can you be so heartless, Mom? What you're doing is hurting Amanda deeply and the baby as well." But Hazel refused to listen. "The second we found out it was a girl, that child became worthless to me," she stated without any emotion. Zion was heartbroken. Hazel's increasingly odd behavior became more alarming daily. I considered calling the police myself. However, because she was family, we were determined to try to find a solution through talking, right up until the end. Having to deal with Hazel's actions, though, was adding to the strain I was feeling during my pregnancy, which was already making me feel pretty weak. I couldn't handle her actions sometimes, and I'd just start crying, wondering how things had gotten so bad. My little girl is supposed to enter this world surrounded by love. Zion was always there for me during those times, offering me comfort. He would say, "Amanda, you haven't done anything wrong at all. The issue is definitely with her. We should just treasure our daughter." I was sure that eventually she would understand too. Then one day, Hazel came to our house with a proposal that was just awful. She said, "Amanda, if you give birth to a son, I'll accept you. So get rid of the baby you're carrying right now and try again to have a boy." I was just shocked. Hazel was forcing her own beliefs on us and even threatening her own granddaughter's life. I felt an overwhelming sense of sorrow. Zion, filled with anger, told his mother, "Enough, Mom. I understood that I couldn't change how she thought, but we are having this girl. Even if you can't accept her, we're still a family." Hazel seemed upset when she saw the resolve in Zion's eyes. She didn't say anything and just left the house. Time went on and my delivery date was getting closer. While things with Hazel were still difficult, Zion and I were still happily preparing to welcome our daughter. Then 3 days before my due date, I began feeling contractions. Zion quickly called the hospital and helped me into the car. "Just breathe deeply, Amanda. He'll be here with us at the hospital soon," he kept saying, trying to keep my spirits up while he was driving. Once we arrived, they took me in right away. Zion held my hand really tightly. He told me, "You're strong. I'm always here for you." After enduring a difficult delivery, I brought a perfectly healthy baby girl into the world. The instant the doctor put her in my embrace, tears just streamed down my face. I just kept sobbing. "Hello, sweet baby girl. Welcome to planet Earth." Zion was completely overcome with feelings. "Amanda, you're the best. You're an amazing wife and mom." We decided to call our little one Arya. She became the most precious thing in our lives, the focus of our entire family. But Hazel, she didn't seem to be happy at all about Arya's arrival. She didn't come to the hospital, and she ignored all our efforts to get in touch with her. Several days following our return home, Hazel showed up at our door. "Could I perhaps see my grandchild?" she asked, her voice devoid of warmth. Even though he was uneasy, Zion allowed his mother inside. Hazel walked into the living room where I was, cradling Arya in my arms. "Mom, it's been a while. This is Arya, your granddaughter." Gazing down at the baby, Hazel's face remained expressionless, cold as ice. "So a girl was born, huh? No heir to the family business." Zion raised his voice. "Enough, Mom, just stop. Arya is our treasured daughter." With a sarcastic smirk, Hazel replied, "That's fine and dandy, but this baby offers no benefit to your business." I was shaking with rage, but Zion put his hand on my shoulder to calm me. Hazel continued, "For me, this baby and I have no relationship whatsoever. I never want to lay eyes on her again." Zion took a long, deep breath and confronted his mother. Mom, are you sure about that? Because this child's actual, true identity is... Hazel brushed his words aside with a wave of her hand. True identity? What are you even talking about? A girl has no worth. I said with a determined look, Mom, are you unaware of grandfather's will? Hazel's forehead wrinkled at what I said. Will, what's that supposed to mean? I then started to elaborate in a calm voice. Grandfather, you see, was against sexism and purposefully created a will that would give all of his possessions to a woman. Put another way, Arya is the rightful inheritor of the business. Hazel listened to my explanation, completely shocked. That's crazy, to think father would have created a will like that. I continued, Mom, the times have moved on. Grandfather really wanted to see true equality between the sexes. Suddenly, Hazel's whole attitude changed. Oh, I understand, you're right. We're living in an era where men and women are seen as equals now, so Arya will take over the company. Okay, then I'll just have to shower her with affection. Zion and I looked at Hazel, a mixture of disbelief and fury washing over us. He spoke up louder, Mom. Just moments ago you were rejecting your granddaughter, and now you're conveniently changing your mind. Hazel started making justifications in a frantic way. No, that isn't the case. I've completely changed the way I feel. From this point forward, I will love Arya. A cold smile crept across my face as I said, Mother, you've said you wanted nothing to do with this child. As you've expressed, you'll have absolutely nothing to do with Arya's inheritance. Hazel's face turned white as if she were speechless. Zion added in a firm tone, Mom, you turned your back on Arya and caused Amanda a lot of pain. Someone like you shouldn't have a say when it comes to our daughter's inheritance. Hazel tried desperately to make excuses. That's not true. I actually do love Arya. I gave her a long, cold stare. I love her, but what you've put us through, Mom, it just isn't love. It's appalling that you hurt our daughter and then you changed your tune because you were just thinking about yourself. Zion spoke up strongly, saying, Mom, she owns everything in this area. I'm telling you right now, we won't let you be involved in anything. That's our final word on your terrible treatment of us. Hazel was completely stunned, and she just fell to the floor, me. I said, I stated flatly, I cannot forgive you, Mother. Please get out of this house, right now. Hazel got to her feet, though she was shaky. Okay, I understand. After she said those words, she left our house. Zion gave me a hug. Amanda, you did the right thing. Mom really needs to own up to the mistakes she made. 5 years later, Arya was a really energetic 5-year-old. She had the cutest, curly blonde hair and big, bright blue eyes that really stood out. She was the most precious thing in the world to Zion and me as we reveled in our happy, satisfying life with her. Arya was so inquisitive, and she just loved reading picture books and playing at the park. One day, her kindergarten had a sports day practice. Arya was selected to run a race, and she trained diligently. But some of the kids had problems running, which threw them off. Arya spoke up. Let's all give it our best. Don't leave anyone behind. Let's all get to the finish. Her encouraging words seemed to inspire the other kids. The teachers were amazed at Arya's leadership skills as well. That's our Arya, turning into a big sister, who cares about everyone else. She gave a shy smile at all the compliments. We watched Arya grow up healthy, always supporting and encouraging her to be the best she could be. I'll never be able to erase Hazel's awful deeds from my mind, but it was truly restorative to watch my daughter blossom into such a happy, kind person. Another 15 years went by. Arya had evolved into a gorgeous, passionate, and brilliant 20-year-old. I got a promotion to editor-in-chief at the fashion magazine, and Zion took over as CEO, just like his father before him. While still in school, Arya did an internship at her dad's company, and when she graduated, she officially joined the staff. She was placed in the corporate strategy department, and even though she was young, her abilities shone right away. One time, Zion asked Arya for her thoughts on the company's upcoming plans. You're the one who will lead this company into the future, he said. The day will come, and it's not far off when you will be in charge, he said with pride at how much she'd grown. After considering what her father had said, Arya stated with confidence, Dad, I'm going to turn this company into a global power. Plus, I'll make it a place where everyone can flourish, upholding the principle of gender equality. That's what I hope for. Zion's eyes crinkled with happiness when he heard Arya say this, and he gave her shoulder a firm squeeze. If anyone can do it, it's you, he said. I'll back your ambition with every resource I have. 2 decades earlier, Hazel's bigotry and unfair treatment caused my family and me a lot of pain. However, we persevered through those challenges, and our relationships grew stronger. With all this going on, Amanda and Zion's wedding anniversary arrived. To show my appreciation for my parents, I meticulously organized a special dinner. Mom and Dad, this is also a special day for you, so I'm taking on the role of host tonight. I declared with a smile as Zion in a significant day, Amanda watched her daughter mature with sentimental affection. Arya had decorated the dinner table with items that represented Amanda and Zion's shared history. their wedding photograph, a childhood family portrait I'd drawn, and a recent snapshot of us all. Mom and Dad, I'm filled with joy to be a part of this family. I am fortunate that I can chase my aspirations because of your care for me, Arya explained, which brought tears to her parents' eyes. We were able to keep going because we had you, Arya. Your smile gives us our strength, Zion said, holding onto his daughter's hand. You are the source of our happiness, Amanda chimed in. We all raised our glasses in a toast, relishing this wonderful moment. This family, which had faced adversity, was incredibly strong. Several years after that, my closest friend, Jessica, shared some alarming information about Hazel. Amanda, I saw Hazel in town recently and she appeared a little strange, Jessica shared, causing me to become concerned. Strange in what way? She was wearing unkempt clothing and her hair was a mess. She resembled a homeless person. I tried to speak with her, but the second she saw me, she ran away as if trying to get away. I experienced a mix of emotions after hearing Jessica's story. I was absolutely stunned by the transformation in my ex-mother-in-law. I also learned from someone Zion knew that Hazel had trouble paying her rent while she lived by herself. She's surviving on a pension, and it seems she's completely broke. However, she's too stubborn to ask for help. The acquaintance added that I heard she was even caught stealing from the grocery store by a security guard not long ago. She must be having a hard time affording basic necessities. When I put all these accounts together, they depicted Hazel as someone backed into a corner financially and emotionally. Hearing about what's happening with her now, I didn't know what to say. Zion also seemed shocked, and he said, I can't believe this is happening to my mom. What can we do about it? I wondered, but Zion just shook his head. Amanda, I appreciate that you want to help, but Mom really hurt you and Arya back then. It's something I still can't easily let go of even now. Even though I felt torn, I had to acknowledge that Zion was right. Without knowing if Hazel had learned from her past actions, we couldn't just reach out. More than anything, I personally still hadn't fully forgiven her for how she treated me. Still, it makes me sad, I admitted. While understanding how I felt, Zion told me not to give up hope. I'm upset about Mom, too, but we have to concentrate on our own lives. Being there for Arya's future, chasing our dreams together, that's what's most important. I smiled at Zion's optimistic outlook. You're right, we have Arya. For our daughter's well-being, I need to stay strong. I saw Zion affirm his agreement, head held high. Precisely, I thought. The three of us will team up and continue to experience joy. At that moment, Arya walked into the room. Mom, Dad, what are you discussing? I gave her a warm smile. We had just been telling her how much happiness she brings to our lives, and we want to keep building those joyful memories with her, I added. Arya responded with a slightly shy but genuinely happy smile, then Zion spoke up. Okay, let's go out to a fantastic dinner this evening. Arya, where's that restaurant you really like? The Italian place with the amazing pasta, she replied, her voice full of cheer. The pure joy radiating from our daughter's face calmed us, enabling us to set aside our problems for the time being. The plan was finalized in my mind. We're going to eat a lot. Zion's enthusiastic encouragement spurred us forward. We began strolling towards a brighter outlook.